Welcome to Intro Psych. This is an introductory podcast to the course. I'm open up to the Start Here menu, which is where you'll find a whole bunch of different resources that I've parked here for you. A lot that you're going to want to look at right away and become familiar with, and then some other things that you'll be going back to throughout the semester and using. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of what is here. Basically, what you're going to see happen is in week 1 of the class. You're going to notice it's pretty much just a little bit of a reiteration of what's in the Start Here menu, because really I take week 1, which is a short week, and I use it for you getting acquainted to the class. So a lot of that is just going into the Start Here menu and seeing what's there, getting your books, maybe starting to read, getting acquainted with Plato and all of that. So I'm open up to the Start Here menu. And if you haven't already, you'll want to listen to, or watch, I should say, the welcome video that I put. It's just a short little video to welcome you to the class. And you can watch that. I want you to look at everything I've listed here in the order that I've listed it. This will be helpful to you. And like I said, it is really you getting used to the course by going through everything that's here. I would recommend printing out the syllabus and purchasing your textbooks right away. I'm going to just skip down really quick. Here's the syllabus. It's tentative because, as you all have learned through COVID season, nothing is for certain tomorrow. So everything is tentatively set in terms of dates and all of that, but I'm going to do my best to adhere to the syllabus given any constraints that we might face in the future. But there it is, and then these are the textbooks required for the class. This textbook is a digital textbook that comes with an access code for online resources, and the online resources come from the publisher and include a multitude of different things that you'll be using, like practice tests, study guides, videos to watch for the class, and so forth. And then the other text is what you'll be using, goes along with this one. You'll be using this a lot for the discussions that we'll be doing in the class. This is 40 studies that change psychology, and they really are the 40 kind of most influential studies from the field, in the early days that kind of set the stage for the field of psychology. A lot of the studies you'll also read about in your main text, but this one follows a research format, and it takes a look at the original study, how it was conducted, who the participants were, what the results were, and what implications the study had for applying it to life. And so we dig a little deeper into those areas, and it follows along really nicely with the content of each chapter that you're going to be doing in the main psychology text. So all the info's here. You need to make sure that when you get your book, you're buying the course ebook with access to Revel. Okay, now if you buy it from the bookstore, it's set up that way. If you buy it from another source or you buy it direct from the publisher, you need to make sure that you have that Revel access that goes with it. All right, let's get back up here real quick. What you're going to be doing after you've done all that is then go ahead and log on to Revel. So once you have your books and you have that access code, you're going to log in to Revel, which is put out by the publisher Pearson. And you're going to have your access code for the textbook that you'll need. And then you're going to need this course invite link, which basically tells Revel whose intro class are you in. And Revel is not anything like Plato, although some people use it extensively. We will just be using Revel for the purposes of you having access to some resources that will help you study in this class. As I said, there's videos in there, there's study guides, there's practice quizzes for every chapter. There might even be flashcards. So there's a lot of resources that will help you. And students have had lots of good things to say about using these, so it's definitely worth it. So you'll want to log in there and check that out. Check out all the resources I've posted for you. And then you can, I'm going to skip this mandatory psych assessment for just right now. You'll want to look to see how to do a discussion board posting. You're going to be doing that next week will be your first one. So you'll want to look at the guidelines for that. I've also posted my bio here, tell you a little bit about myself and my family. I would also like you guys to print out not print out, but type out your bios, who you are. And what you're going to do is you're going to post those to the Student Lounge, which if you go to the Communications tab in Plato for our class and click into Student Lounge, you're going to post your bio there. And I think I stuck it on here. Maybe I didn't. I'll add it into the to-do list here. But basically, you can model your bio after mine. Doesn't need to be as long, but what I want you to do is I want you to tell me a little bit about who you are, what your goals are, major, maybe what you want to do with your major, what kind of career you want to have. If you'd love to include a picture, please do. I love pictures. I like seeing that. But I also want you to give me 3 words that describe you, 3 words that best categorize or characterize you as a person. So that's it. That's for your bio. And like I said, I'll add it back up into the to-do list here for you. That will help me get acquainted with all of you online and you with each other. Everyone will be able to see that in the Student Lounge. So it'll just be a nice icebreaker for the class. It will also be my way of confirming your enrollment for the class. So once you've done that, I know, yes, you're in the class. It's kind of like a obligatory roll call at the beginning of the class starting. Okay, I said I would come back to this mandatory intro psych assessment, so here we are. Every student taking intro psych has to complete what we call an intro psych assessment. It is for our department. We use it to gauge kind of where students are at before they take intro psych. So we really want you going into this without having had much, experience in intro psych. Now I know some of you might have had it in high school. That's okay. That's fine. The test will kind of flesh that out a little bit. It's just a multiple choice test of all different kinds of questions in psychology to kind of get a baseline of where you're at. You don't have to study for this test. It doesn't affect your grade in my class. It is simply for the purposes of our department to see kind of where students are at when they come into our department. Now, the only way this will affect your grade is if you don't do it and if you don't do it by a certain time. So you need to take this assessment at the latest by the 17th of September. If you don't, it's going to result in an automatic 10-point deduction from your overall grade. I would say do it as soon as you get the email about it. You will be getting an email sent from Dr. Camilleri, and it will have all the information and the link to take this intro psych assessment test. It's a quick test. It's not hard. And the first week is really the best week to do it because you don't have really any other work in the class. But you have to have it done by the 17th. So think of it as some nice content that you'll cover to get used to what we'll be doing in class. So I will have that posted in the week 1 tab, and I'll have it posted again in the week 2 tab just as a reminder to make sure that nobody forgets to do it. All right, so let's go down here. We've covered the syllabus, we've covered the texts. Here's a little thing on how to use Plato in case you're still getting familiar with it and you need some help. Instructions for logging into Revel, those online resources that come with the book. Here's information on the mandatory assessment along with the link. But again, you're going to get this to your email as well. All Intro Psych students will get this. It may go to your junk mail, so make sure you're checking your junk mail in case it goes there. I've also included a PDF of the first chapter of your main textbook, Intro Psych by Cicerelli and White. And I've included that just mainly because some of you don't have your texts yet. In week 1 and even into week 2, some of you are still trying to get your textbooks, but the expectation is that you have those for week 3. I will not be posting any more chapters of the book as that's a copyright infringement violation, and so I willingly give you the first chapter to get you started and want you to read that. It includes the preface and what's called Psych in Action, and then chapter 1. So that will help to get you started with what you need. Here's information on how to do a discussion board posting. So you want to look that over and make sure that you're doing all of that correctly. If you have any questions, please ask. That's a great spot to stop and email me or come by office hours, which are via Zoom. And you can get to the office hour Zooms by going into the communication tab. I have the Zoom link right there for you. It's also on your syllabus. Anytime you need to Zoom, my office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 1:30 to 3. And you can hop on Zoom and ask any questions that you might have. I put some instructions on how to cite sources as you're writing. So anytime you're writing your discussion posts, if you're taking information from either of the textbooks, you want to be citing them correctly in APA format. So there's information there for you to do that. That is an expectation in the class. You need to have proper and correct citing. And then I just put some different resources here about online learning and some campus resources, which I think are really important and will help you out a lot. Academic support, counseling, writing, the food pantry, things like that. I have some policies about plagiarism and academic honesty, and then just some overall helpful resources on note-taking and multiple choice test taking, as well as this is really good on the differences between high school and college when it comes to workload. I'd recommend if this is your first college class, this is a document for you. It's really short, but it will help you kind of understand the expectations at the level of college and how they might be a little similar, but yet different to what you experienced in high school. So that pretty much wraps up everything you need to know in the Start Here menu. The next place for you to go would be the Week 1 tab on the left-hand side of the class in Plato. So head there, check that out, and I look forward to some great interactions with you all this semester. Okay, good luck.